So one of the first things I thought was nobody's ever going to believe this. This is probably the craziest thing that happened. One of the craziest things that have happened to me.
I couldn't take my eyes off it.
I'm not going to look at this.
Mason wouldn't look at it. He was adamantly refusing to.
I wasn't. I just immediately was. I don't want to. I don't because it's one of those things that you can't unsee. My friend Jonathan, he's been working. He got a job at this place on Main Street called Alice's Tea Room, and he kept telling me I needed to come in and apply there because I didn't have a job. And I met Megan. She asked me if I'd be interested in having working there. She said she didn't have a an application that day, and she was gonna have to get it to me on another day.
Took him an application at the Spellman Center. While we were outside talking, I mentioned that I missed going out and playing in the woods, hiking, playing in the creek, things like that. And
She was like, why spend money when you can just go hiking? And I was like, yes, want to go hiking?
a little ways into the hike, he said, "I've never been back this far."
As we were walking through the woods, I actually said, this is probably the furthest back I've ever hiked. You know, and most of my friends I go hiking with don't like to hike as much as I do.
The path we were on was right alongside a creek, and I noticed a log going across the creek. I was like, "Ooh, I used to play at the creek all the time when I was little, and this log reminded me so much of the beaver dam that I used to cross when I was little."
And of course, I was just gonna follow her because I wasn't gonna say no, don't do that. And as we were walking across the log lane over the creek, I kind of noticed on the opposite bank, it looked like a guy was standing on the edge of the bank, like fishing or something. As we got closer, it wasn't a guy fishing; it was a guy hanging in a tree.
He was older guy, pale, but mostly for the blood flow. Kind of grayish hair.
His glasses were kind of hung down on his nose like this. His collar kind of hid the rope around his neck, but his eyes were wide open.
Sleeve button up shirt, jeans, hiking boots. There was a cap on the ground, a camouflage John Deere cap.
And it's an eerie feeling looking at somebody who's dead outside of a funeral because you don't see that every day.
But it was just so bizarre to see death in such a casual, sobering place.
We were kind of joking that CSI has ruined us, or video games have definitely made us numb because I slept great that night. I haven't lost a wink of sleep from finding a dead guy in the woods, and there's part of me that's like, is that our generation, or is that just part of our character? Is it what we've been exposed to? Kind of more philosophical, universal questions.
I think it has positively impacted our relationship because we've grown really close, we've started dating, and it's it's just something that's unique that kind of gives a different level of communication with someone.